He once leapt off skyscrapers, cracked wise under gunfire, and made millions believe the good guy really could win. Yet today, Bruce Willis, the swaggering heartbeat of Die Hard, struggles to whisper his daughter's names. How does the toughest action legend of the 90s find himself locked inside a mind that's slowly dimming the lights? Tonight, we're unpacking the shocking timeline of an illness no blockbuster could defeat, the unthinkable decision that split the Willis household in two, and the secret mission his wife now carries on her shoulders. Stay to the end, because the question this story leaves you with might change how you live tomorrow. Bruce Willis loved the school run. He was that dad who'd blast rock classics, trade jokes with crossing guards, and leave his girls giggling all the way to class. Then, without warning, those morning drives stopped. Emma Hemming Willis, model, entrepreneur, proud wife, felt a faint alarm bell ring. At family dinners, the famously chatty Bruce went quiet, content to let conversations swirl around him like distant radio static. Friends chalked it up to age, exhaustion, maybe the long tail of Hollywood stress. But Emma saw something colder, the warmth in his trademark smirk fading to a polite, distracted nod. Behind the scenes, small routines began to crumble. Bruce, once obsessed with being early on every set, now misplaced his phone, his keys, even the harmonica he used to practice blues riffs between takes. He laughed it off, calling himself a scatterbrained grandpa, but Emma felt the laughter land hollow. When she finally asked, "Are you okay?" Bruce shrugged, switching on a ball game. Deep down, she sensed a fracture, but neither of them grasped the magnitude of the fault line, and nothing about those cracks screamed dementia. Hollywood schedules are brutal. Jet lag can steal anyone's spark. So they soldiered on until the day Bruce stared blankly at a lifelong friend, unable to find his name. Next, a misdiagnosis that bought them hope and then ripped it away. March 2022 thundered in like a freight train. A family statement hit every entertainment outlet. Bruce was stepping away from acting, citing aphasia, a language disorder that scrambles speech and comprehension. Fans gasped. Talk show hosts delivered sympathetic monologues, and timelines flooded with his best one-liners. Yippee-ki-yay hero. Speech therapy people assumed would save the day. But the script didn't follow Hollywood logic. Words weren't just jumbled, they were evaporating. Emma recalls asking him to pass the salt and watching him freeze, eyes darting as if the phrase were written in disappearing ink. He lingered in hallways, confused about why he'd left one room for another. A glass of water sat untouched because the act of lifting it had slipped through the cracks of cognition. Testing stretched from LA to Mayo. Each appointment came with fresh acronyms: PET, MRI, EEG, and fresh fear. Emma learned to read doctor glances the way critics parse box office numbers. Optimism meant a small smile, doom was a clipped nod, charts clutched too tight. After months of agony, a crushing verdict dropped: frontotemporal dementia, FTD, an aggressive disease that strikes people under 60 faster than Alzheimer's and offers no cure. For Bruce, it meant not just blank lines in the script, but an eraser steadily working across the memories he'd spent 7 decades collecting. The couple had weathered tabloid storms, stunt injuries, even the infamous Die Hard billboard fiasco, but this was different. You can't charm a degenerative disease, can't outshoot it, and certainly can't wrap it in a late-night punchline. Next, the unthinkable choice Emma made in the name of love and survival. Doctors warned that consistency and calm can slow FTD's chaos, yet their bustling house kids, homework, dogs, doorbells with sensory overload. Bruce wandered at night, pacing like a soldier on perimeter duty, sometimes unable to find the bedroom he'd slept in for years. Emma caught herself catnapping in the hallway, a lighthouse keeper who dared not let the beam go dark. After weeks of soul-searching, Emma made the decision she once swore she'd never consider, moving Bruce into a nearby second home. Designed like a serene retreat but wired for 24/7 medical care. She chose the paint, muted ocean blues from their Montauk vacations, and filled shelves with Polaroids from sets. Critics lit up the comment sections. Why exile him? But Emma's motive was brutally simple: protect her daughter's childhood while giving Bruce the calm the neurologists insisted on. Inside, soft jazz drifts through sunlit rooms. Caregivers trained in memory prompts repeat familiar jokes, diffuse cedar, the scent of his Idaho ranch, when dust confusion spikes. Down the block, Emma keeps dinner at 6, life moving forward. Yet every afternoon, she and the girls pile into the car and flood Bruce's cocoon with giggles, ukulele strums, and Zephyr the family dog, who still coaxes a whistle from Bruce on good days. Next, the silent Instagram clues that tipped fans off to a deeper decline. April 2025. Fans scrolling Bruce's feed stop cold. One photo shows daughter Mabel against her dad's chest. Caption, "He doesn't need to speak for her to feel safe." Another shows Emma cradling his face. "Love doesn't need words." No press release, no medical bulletin. Just 5 gut punch lines that say everything. Rumors ignite. Can Bruce still talk? Walk? Is the smile reflex or recognition? The family stays silent, letting images shoulder the weight. The internet becomes a microscope. Digital sleuths zoom into pupils, count steps between porch and garden path, compare posture to 1994 red carpet footage. TikTok investigators lip-read silent home videos, hunting for lost vocabulary. Some clips are pure speculation, others quote unnamed insiders. The truth is blurrier. Bruce still has good days. He'll hum a bit of Under the Boardwalk, tap along on a table, even whisper a nickname like Bean when Tallulah walks in. But those windows narrow each month. Paparazzi photos emerge. Bruce on a morning stroll, caregiver at his elbow, gaze distant yet posture soldier straight. Each snapshot sparks more headlines, but Emma refuses the circus, guarding dignity for a man who gave the world so much noise-filled joy. Next, debunking headlines, sorting fact from viral fiction.
Tragedy sells.
Tabloid script Bruce's final act ahead of schedule, bedridden Willis. Secret hospice care and rake-in rage clicks. Some outlets even fake doctor quotes claiming experimental stem cell trials in Switzerland. Yet experts explain FTD's path is uneven, mobility can persist long after speech disappears. Emma's legal team runs a takedown inbox when rumors threaten safety like phony crowdfunding pages, they strike fast. Confirmed facts, Bruce stands, walks, and on sparkling mornings slow dances. Guided but not carried. He recognizes loved ones by laugh lines, not names. Reading scripts is impossible, yet sensory memory remains. The coarse weave of his favorite flannel, the icy gulp of a root beer float, the rumble of a Harley. And music? Neuroscientists call it the last language to leave. When Scout strums leaving on a jet plane, Bruce's shoulders relax, lips move in ghost song even if no words form. Cognition isn't a light switch, it's a dimmer, and even low light can reveal beauty. Next, the blended family force field rallying around him. 5 adult daughters, 2 young girls, and 2 devoted women, Emma and ex-wife Demi Moore, lock arms around one fragile heartbeat. Holidays feel like a sitcom reunion. Demi films slow-motion cake candles, Mabel and Evelyn belt Disney songs, Tallulah sneaks Dad his beloved peanut butter cupcake, and Emma catches every moment on Polaroid. They've turned family into an operating system. Sundays are memory lane, cycling through photo albums of Jersey Shore summers, VHS tapes of early auditions when Bruce's hair had a mind of its own. Laughter rings out when a tape catches him botching a Bon Jovi riff. Bruce's eyes crinkle comprehension or mirrored emotion, it hardly matters. Familiar joy lights neural pathways long after language fades, so they serve memories like medicine administered daily. For Bruce's 70th birthday, they hung stills from Pulp Fiction, spun Bowie's golden years, and watched him sway, grin faint but present. Tallulah posted, "He's still my dad first, movie star second," and comments overflowed with global cyber hugs. This united front isn't PR, it's strategy, stability for the patient, solidarity for caregivers, and proof a blended family can function like a heart with many chambers. Next, Emma turns private grief into a public mission. Grief can harden or galvanize. Emma chose galvanize. Her upcoming book, The Unexpected Journey, isn't celebrity memoir, it's a battle plan. She teaches laminated help lists, so friends know which chores truly lift weight, school pickups, grocery runs, shares 5-minute meditation hacks for ambulance call lulls, and offers conversation starters that don't rely on memory. How does that song feel? Instead of "Do you remember this?" Partnerships followed. Emma sits on the board of the Association for Frontotemporal Degeneration, lobbying Congress for early detection funding. She hosts monthly live streams, caregivers coffee, fielding questions from spouses in rural towns who feel invisible. Brand deals? Declined unless profits bankroll, caregiver respite grants, mini vacations so exhausted partners can rest for a weekend. Haters swarm her DMs. Stop exploiting Bruce, yet Emma's posture never buckles. She borrows one of Bruce's lines, "Tough ain't enough," and makes advocacy her armor. Next, reckoning with a legacy written in real time. Bruce's filmography is a study in resilience. Die Hard crowned the everyman as hero. The Sixth Sense proved silence could scream. Unbreakable framed vulnerability as superpower. Ironically, his real-world sequel blends all three arcs and every man battling a silent enemy with unbreakable family support. Industry peers step up. Samuel L. Jackson sends weekly voice notes packed with Pulp Fiction in-jokes. Night Shyamalan mails storyboards from films they never shot. Caption, "Still owe you that twist ending." Chris Pratt tweeted, "Everything I know about humor under pressure, learned watching Willis." Zendaya reposted Bruce and Demi's 1994 Oscar dance, calling it cinema's smoothest pivot. Meanwhile, FTD research surges. Labs in Boston, Berlin, and Kyoto test gene silencing therapies, partly funded by celebrity-driven awareness. Scientists credit the Willis spotlight for a 300% jump in grant applications. Bruce may never act again, but his fight is steering science forward. One day, an actor on a Prague soundstage might dodge this fate because John McClane faced it head-on. Next, one last question that spotlights the viewer. The script of life doesn't always give its heroes a triumphant final act. Sometimes it slaps down revised pages with half the dialogue missing and trusts love to improvise. Bruce Willis taught the world how to laugh under fire. Now he's teaching us how to hold on when words slip away. So ask yourself, if the toughest hero you know can't outrun time, what unfinished conversation are you putting off? What gratitude haven't you voiced? Whose hand needs holding while you still can? If this story moved you, share it to push FTD awareness one click further and drop a comment for caregivers burning the midnight oil. Take it from Emma, who measures days not in hours but in smiles coaxed and tears intercepted. Take it from Demi, proving exes can become emergency contacts when life rewrites the script. Take it from Bruce himself, whose legacy now lives in every caregiver's steady voice and every researcher's late-night microscope slide. Heroes don't always walk away from explosions. Sometimes they light a candle for those still stumbling in the dark.